Well, okay, so I haven't made a reaction video to Elizabeth Warren announcing that she's running for president yet, and I figure that going into the weekend, I probably should. Hey everybody, I'm Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show. Cheers weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk, 95.1 FM, 790 a.m., KFYO. So Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, announcing on, what was it, New Year's Day, I guess, announcing that she's launching an exploratory committee to run for president of the United States. Then she went on, what was it, Instagram Live, and cracked open a cold one to drink a beer and showed that she's one of you. That's right. She's a regular person who likes to drink beer, because when you think of Elizabeth Warren, you think of one of those cool kids on Instagram Live cracking open a cold one and just hanging out with everybody. So Elizabeth Warren, oh my goodness. All right. So Elizabeth Warren running for president. I don't think that she's got what it takes to win the Democrat nomination. I mean, it's possible. Elizabeth Warren is socialist enough, that's for sure, for the Democrats in 2020. She's woman enough. She may not be Native American enough, but she's woman enough to win the Democrat nomination in 2020. But Trump facing Elizabeth Warren, my goodness, that won't even be fair for Elizabeth Warren as she goes up against Donald Trump. I don't think she actually wins the nomination. I think she'll be part of the train wreck that is the 2020 2020 Democrat primary fight. She'll be part of the circus. It's already been laid out there. You had her hometown newspaper that basically said, Elizabeth Warren, don't run. You don't need to do this. She will be a favorite maybe in the Northeast. She'll play well in portions of the Northeast. She will play well among some of the more progressive / socialist areas, but I don't believe she has national appeal. You look at some of her numbers among independents, she's terrible. She does not have a good rating at all among independents as far as favorability goes. When it comes to Republicans, yeah, she has no favorability whatsoever. Some have compared her to Hillary Clinton, and I actually don't think that's fair. And here's why I say that. I think that, given all the grief that I and others have given to Elizabeth Warren, she's probably a little bit more likable than Hillary Clinton. She's probably a little more likable than Hillary Clinton is. And so I think the comparisons to Hillary maybe not too fair for Elizabeth Warren, but again, she may be more likable than Hillary, but that's not a high bar. Okay. Now, one thing with Elizabeth Warren, I mentioned her cracking open the cold beer, on Instagram Live. This is something I actually give credit to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on, because she has learned from Donald Trump that you need to use social media. If you're a politician, if you are a either a congressional candidate, or if you're a member of Congress, you're a lawmaker, use social media. One, it's free. Two, you can connect to your base, you can connect to voters out there, and it's easy for you to get your message across to the voters. But you have to do so in a way that makes it seem authentic, okay? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, cooking in her kitchen, singing some songs, talking to people while she's cooking, that seems relatable. She's in her 20s. This is something that people in their 20s will do. They talk to each other. They Instagram. They FaceTime. This is totally believable that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in her free time would do something like this. Elizabeth Warren cracking open a beer does not make a lot of sense. Was not relatable at all. It was so terrible. I expect her to do more Instagram and Facebook Live, maybe Periscope, but stay away from cracking open a cold one. Maybe pour yourself a nice glass of white wine, Elizabeth Warren. That might be a little bit more believable than the cold beer and trying to relate to the young people. So Elizabeth Warren, to wrap it up, my thoughts going into, and again, this has been a short week on the Chad Hasty Show, and next week we'll get more into the 2020 Democrats as more and more Democrats start to come on board and announce that they're running for president of the United States. Overall, Elizabeth Warren, she has appeal. It's a very limited appeal. I think someone like a Beto O'Rourke, I think that somebody like even maybe a Kamala Harris has a wider appeal than Elizabeth Warren. I won't be voting for any of them, but I think they have, all of them have a much wider appeal than Elizabeth Warren does. She'll try to get the progressive / socialist message out there, and she'll be part of the train wreck and the circus that is the 2020 Democrat primary. So that's going to be fun to watch, but does she have a shot at winning the White House? I just don't see it. Tune in to the Chad Hasty Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 a.m. KFYO. Have a great day.